FirstFamRadio.com.
Live with Mr. Illustrator.
Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all feeling out there? First Fam West, what's good, man? First Fam, we here.
Hey, man, I want to bring somebody, you know what I mean, I grew up watching, who has an impact on a lot of things, you know what I mean, of today, man, you know what I mean. I want to welcome to the show no other than Antonio Fargas.
Hey. What an intro. What an intro. Especially that music, man.
Oh, yeah, man, we grew up on.
Yeah. Well, I've been truly blessed to be able to, for a lot of people to say that, because I've been doing this thing, what I do, for 54 years, man. And you know, it's like pimping ain't easy. Well, what I do ain't easy, but if you're blessed, you know, all things go well. And so I'm just, you know, I'm a satisfied customer of life, and in this business, to be able to have what I have and to be on the radio and be on the internet with you tonight.
Definitely. We definitely appreciate that, man. It's an honor, man. You know, the first question I want to ask you, man, how'd you get started, man, like in all this, man? Like what, you know, what set that spark?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah. Well, you know, when I was 14 years old, my mother saw an ad in the newspaper. They were doing a film about gangs in New York. It was called The Cool World. It was sort of like West Side Story. I don't know if you remember that, but it took place in Harlem, and I played one of the guys in there. And you know, it was an opportunity that started what I'm doing today, man. You know, when I was 14.
So your mom's, she pretty much saw the talent in you real early. Like, was you?
Well, it really started when she said that when I was an infant, I had this beautiful voice when I cried. I don't know what you're listening to, but she said I had this voice, and she just had this, I guess, kind of a vision, and it sort of came to. You know, it sort of came to her when she saw an ad in the newspaper. It was called the Amsterdam News out of Harlem, Harlem newspaper, and they were casting this film, and they were looking for new people who had never had any experience. And she said, "Why don't you try out for this?" And I reluctantly said yes, man, and it opened up a whole new world to me, and because I was always a guy who felt like I was different. I didn't know how I fit in. You know, I was sort of like this voyeur to life. I always looked at things and took everything in. And when I found acting and they gave me this opportunity, I found a whole new family of people who felt the way I felt, who felt different, who were taking chances. And that's when the desire, you know, to represent the things that I saw in my community, and I was able to do that through character acting and do characters like Fly Guy, to do the character like in Car Wash, or to do, you know, with Foxy Brown, and even to play Huggy Bear. All these characters were people that I sort of saw in life around me growing up in New York City, and then in the hoods of the places that I visited. And I always wanted to represent my people, you know, and the people of my people in the way with dignity and humanity. So I think that's been like the spine of my characters, that these people, I cared that they be represented on the screen or on the stage with the same kind of love that that I craved.
Definitely.
How I wanted to know how did you get the role in Everybody Hates Chris? Because when I listen to Chris Rock, he talks about it's kind of like his characters are based off his upcoming in Brooklyn and whatnot. So
well, that brother grew up like you grew up, my friend, and and I always tell people that I know whose shoulders I stand on. The brothers who laid it down before me, and not only did Chris Rock give me an opportunity, but Will Smith and Martin and Will Smith, Martin, Chris Rock, and gave me opportunities in their show because they appreciated what I did, because they grew up watching me as well. In fact, we all kind of grew up together because I'm a little bit older than they are. So they watched me, and when they would say, you know what, I want to do something, because a lot of the people on that show were people that he respected in the game. And so that's how. So that's how that happened. It's a passing on of a tradition, man. And I was really blessed, to be in the position that I am, and to be able to say thank you by accepting a job and to play that character.
Oh, it's called drop. He's gonna call right back in.
If y'all just tuning in, I was Antonio Fargas, man, Mr. Huggy Bear. You know who he is.
Hey, Huggy Bear.
My brothers, forgive me for that, but even with this technology that we have, sometimes it doesn't go out. I'm like probably 2,500 miles away from where you are, but we're able to do this by these wonderful devices that we have, and the internet is also a wonderful place where we can connect. So I'm back, just talking about how the young people who looked up to me, it's my responsibility to let them know, whose shoulders, again, that I stand on, and what those people who came before me did for me. And so that's something that we like to be able to pass on, because when I grew up in New York, actors were together. They talked, we hung out. We talked. If I didn't get the part, then I hope that another brother, my partner, would get the job. And so to be able to have that happen in this world, where when people get to Hollywood, they kind of forget where they came from, and they don't, look back and all those other things. But I must say that the people who grew up on the East Coast, the Denzel Washingtons and the Chris Rocks, and people who look out because they knew what that small community was, and that we depended on each other. So a lot of that has been lost, I got to say. But meanwhile, the 70s and the 60s were very, very potent times socially in our country, and certainly reflected in the entertainment industry. To be a part of a series that happened where where two black guys got an opportunity on a series like Starsky and Hutch, and that happened because I did a film in New York called Across 110th Street with Anthony Quinn and Yaphet Kotto. And the guy who directed that was known for helping young actors who got to Hollywood. And I got to Hollywood. I got a call from Aaron Spelling, who produced Starsky and Hutch, and they say that Barry Shear had recommended me because I knew how to play those street characters. Nobody could tell me how to act those roles. So I carved out a niche for myself in the industry. That's why I had a consistent record of doing characters that other people didn't want to do. And so Starsky and Hutch was born out of Across 110th Street, and out of the Cool World and everything else that had gone before that. And so to be in a groundbreaking TV series that people are still talking about that, and then to have movies like Car Wash and I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, and all these different characters that I was able to play, man. To be able to say that I've had a career that spanned for 54 years and counting, man. That's all God. That ain't me.
I gotta ask you now about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, man. When you first was brought, the film was brought to your attention, man. What was your reaction, and what I mean, because that was a dope movie, man.
I was living in New England because I left Starsky and Hutch and I moved back east, and I did soap opera. With Lisa, well, I can't remember. Anyway, I did a soap opera, and I was living in New England, and all my children. I did all my children for 2 years, and then I was sitting up there in New England. I got a call from my agent who said that Keenan Ivory Wayans wanted me to play this role because he was looking for people who represented that genre, who had done those kind of roles, and so that the audience would identify when they saw Antonio Fargas break out, with platform shoes and that hat and all that. It pulled it together, man. And I was sitting in front of Eddie Murphy at the premiere of Hollywood, the premiere of I'm Gonna Get You Sucking, and he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Man, that scene is the funniest shit he's ever seen." And and that comes from a guy who knows about that, man. And I'll always remember that. But I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I mean that I'm Gonna Get You Sucker enabled Keenan Ivory Wayans to put Fox on the map when he did Living Color. You know? And he broke out and had all those stars that came out of Jim Carrey and a bunch of other ones that came out almost like Saturday Night Live had all these stars that broke out of Saturday Night Live, like Chris Rock and Eddie and all those stars that went into movies. But that show was an important part of my career. I mean, not the show, but that movie was also another tribute from a young cat who grew up near my neighborhood in Manhattan. Keenan, the Wayans brothers were from, another project. I live in the project in Chelsea, and they live in the project in an area called Clinton. It's right in the same area. So we knew each other. In fact, Whoopi Goldberg went to the same grade school that I went to. She was in my sister's class. It was a Catholic grade school on the west side in Manhattan. So there was certainly a community of people. In fact, we always get together and laugh and say, you know what, look at where we are. Who knew coming from Chelsea projects to where we are today, man. It's it's definitely a spiritual happening.
Yeah, man, you a living legend, man. I wanted to know about this is just my thing, the Foxy Brown. How was that working with Pam?
Well, I
gotta know because you was younger.
Man,
come on, man.
I tell you, I was young, but she. First of all, she was a beautiful lady, what I mean, and a survivor, in a hostile world like I was, what I mean. She had to, survive a whole lot of stuff, and they might have hired her for her beauty and her assets and all that other stuff, but there was an actress in there, who cared about her people and what she was doing and knew what she was doing. And same thing when I did Cleopatra Jones, the same thing with Tamara Dobson. These were ladies who never got, there was a time when ladies didn't have opportunities, talking about black men in the business, but black women in the business, really had it tough. So for her to come out and do what she did, and I was privileged, man, and, on the real side, probably wouldn't even know what to do with that, what I mean? It's like, you could think something, but, no, but she was, really a super,
that's my
sweet sister,
That's my girl. I love Pam. I liked her when they had her when they brought her back in was it Foxy Brown? That was... Foxy Brown. And the cool thing about Foxy Brown for me was that they played the theme from Across 110th Street, the Bobby Womack tune. So I felt the connection with that. I felt the connection with her, and I felt the whole connection with my man who made the movie, man, because that means he grew up watching my stuff, and it's just a matter of time before I probably worked with him as well. But
But yeah, I mean, across 110th Street, that's a whole nother.
I want to ask
the movie. The soundtrack for that was dope.
Man, when I
it's a couple songs on.
Yeah, not to cut you off, Chill, but when I saw that for the first time and I heard it, because my pops, he passed in '96, and I grew up just listening to all that and seeing these old black exploitation movies and stuff, and it's like the connection. We was in Watt, so it was just like, oh yeah, So when that came on, I felt like I was part of that era, even though I, younger. I was like, man, this is real right here. This is that. It's like you showed the struggle on another level. But
man, those films empowered young people to have hope, man. To see themselves represented, by people that they respected doing that. Man, it gave a whole lot of hope to a lot of people, and even gave hope to a lot of people in Europe and whatnot. Because I did a play in England, and I had to take a taxi to the theater every night, and I was in a small town in England, and almost every one of the cab drivers in that small town said, Antonio, you don't have to pay me, for this cab ride, because I just want to thank you for what you did for me growing up watching Starsky and Hutch. I mean, so it went beyond the borders of our country, but certainly African Americans in this country, were empowered by the blaxploitation films, and which gave us, films and Bill Cosby. I stand on Bill Cosby's shoulders when he had his small little TV show before he became Mr. Huxtable, and and had those groundbreaking moves, and he started when he did I Spy, back in the day. And there were very few people, and Sidney Poitier was out there, the main Hollywood star that represented us, and then you got Denzel, then you had all the people who came afterwards. So it certainly is a tradition and a history lesson, and also a social and economic empowerment that we got from being able to see ourselves. I mean, that's how I felt when I did my first movie. I said, damn, I'm going to be up there on the screen like John Wayne and all them people that, them white folks, up there in a movie, and saying, that's me. I can't tell you what that did for me, man. And and hopefully I was able to inspire you and and maybe countless others who've been able to work that not only that I've done, but my brothers in the game have done.
I'm heavy inspired by your work. Like I said, I'm a movie buff, so I mean I'm into the oldies to the old flicks to all that. That's where I grew up on. But what I wanted to know before we
we got a call too. We got a call. I want to chime in too.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the question? I don't want to lose my thought. What is your feelings towards like how the black, as far as the black movies are portrayed now, or are you happy, or do you feel they could be?
Well, I like the progress, but we don't know. It's very hard for people to get, to find that same things that they found in the beginnings in the struggle, to get it, because everybody's kind of happy. But I just got to remind people that, when I came in the game, the ethnic slot on series and the movies were filled by African-American men and then all African-American women. But today, we have to compete with Hispanic. We have to compete with Asian. I mean, that minority spot has got to be split up. So it really hasn't gotten that much better. But at the same time, there has been great, great, great progress. But, I just I'm very when I meet someone like you guys who are into the details and who are into the foundation of how some of this stuff got started, and I'm asking questions in that area, that's inspiring to me, because I never wanted to be a star. I like doing the dirty work, doing the small roles, you know what I mean, and to have created a reputation and to have created, you know, a body of work where we're here talking about this is again over a 54-year period, man. That's, you know, I mean, it's overwhelming, it's humbling at the same time, you know, like I'm very proud of, you know. Sometimes I say, so who is your hero? Well, today I've become my hero, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, that took a lot of work to get positioned, my brothers.
Yeah, we're gonna take a call real quick. We got to call out the 215. We got DC Graphics from the press of First Fam Media. You live on the air with Mr. Antonio Fargas.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Antonio, is it all right if I call you Fly Guy, brother?
Hey, be my guest, man.
hey, no doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you changed my game. You know what I'm saying? When I seen you came out there with them shoes, with the
it took a lot of courage, man. It took a lot of courage, man. And that's what the funny part of that shit was that, you know, because he really believed he was the shit. You know what I mean? And for him to feel like, you know what, you know, like, hey, man, times have changed and all that. But man, I used to go around after that film came out. I would go around to Halloween celebrations around the country, and I would see people dressed like that, man. I would see people in platform shoes with goldfish. I mean, even they didn't have real goldfish, but they had like in plastic and whatnot, and you know, big hats and all that stuff. So Keenan Ivory Wayne, I take my hat off to him. I didn't think of that shit. That was his vision, and I just
I shout out to Keenan Wayne for that.
He was cold. It was cold.
Hey, Fly Guy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, on some real, you know what I'm saying, deepness, you know, we and the brothers, you know, over here at First Fam Entertainment, First Fam Radio, what we be doing, we be trying to work on, you know what I'm saying, our small film and our acting skills and things of that nature. So I heard the brother Illustrator ask you a question, you know what I'm saying, how you felt about, you know, how things were then and how they are now. And, you know, your input, you know, me show, you know what I mean, that is definitely a difference. My question to you, you know what I'm saying, as a legend, you know what I'm saying, in the black acting field, you know what I mean, do you have any, you know, are you writing any scripts and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm definitely open, man. You know, I try to help some filmmakers, you know what I mean, definitely, you know what I mean. If you you can Google me, you can get my email address, or, you know what I mean, and Google me or you know, contact me. Because I always try to give my strength open experience to, you know, to my brothers and sisters who are trying to do this stuff, man. You know, because somebody reached a hand out to me, and as I said, I feel a responsibility, you know, to be there for you. So yeah, I mean, I'm not producing myself, but if I find a project I feel passionate about, and if I can help somebody find where to place that thing or give them some, say, you know what, this needs some work, and I'm be honest, you know what I mean? I'm saying, hey, you know what, somebody's got to be honest with how you grow and learn, you know what I mean? And so, but if I say, you know what, you know, this is a winner, all it takes is you to stay persevere and, you know, and to get it done or make a small movie. Because that's how Keenan started. That's how Spike Lee started. They just believed, man, and they just did their stuff, man, and, you know, and the rest is history.
The movies that, like, I guess, like with the newer black movies or what, have hello?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's kind of breaking up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah. We good. What do you got? You got anything coming up that we should be checking out?
Yeah. In fact, you know, just take note. Maybe next week we'll talk again. But if you go to thenewjumpblues.com, I got a band, some music that I've been working on. It's called The New Jump Blues. Check out the CD. There's some stuff on YouTube on like my band, The New Jump Blues. And I'm also working on a movie now called Beyond Skyline, which will be out a year from now. It's a sci-fi film, and I'm working on a promotion for NBC TV that has a station called Cozy TV.
Okay.
And they show Starsky and Hutch. They show Miami Vice, and so my band is going to do some promos for Cozy TV to promote that station. But yeah, the new Jump Blues.
Okay, I want to play this clip, man. We want to take you back real quick, man. What you think of this when you hear this?
I'm gonna try to do a little poetry for y'all. It's an original piece written by me, Fly Guy.
Fly Guy.
And I want to dedicate this piece to all you players and all you ladies out there. The name of this piece is called "My Bitch Better Have My Money." My bitch better have my money. Through rain, sleet, or snow. My hoe better have my money. I'm telling you, that boy's a genius. Tell it. Not half, not some, but all my cash. Because if she don't, I'm going to put my foot dead in her ass.
I had to bring that out, man, real quick, man, to salute you, man.
Hey, man. It's been a real honor. Again, contact my PR people, and after you guys check out that music, I'll come on again because I think we just scratched the surface. I'd love to spend some more time with you. I gotta bounce right now.
Okay.
But,
can we get a drop before you go? Can we get a drop for First Fan Radio from Mr. Fargas before you go? The Fly Guy himself.
Yo, this is Antonio Fargas, Fly Guy, and I'm bringing it to you live on First Fam Radio.
We appreciate that right there, sir. Salute to you.
My pleasure, my brothers. Let's do it again, okay?
Yes, sir.
FirstFamRadio.com